God School's relations with the Catholic Church in Haiti is part of the worldwide Catholic Church. Under the spiritual leadership of the Pope, the Curia in Rome and the Conference of Haitian Bishops, there are 10 dioceses including 2 archdioceses. The national patron saint of Haiti is a Mother of Perpetual Help. The dioceses of Santo Domingo and Concepcion de la Vega were founded in 1511. And the island of Hispaniola that Haiti shares with the Dominican Republic was divided between these bishoprics. In 1527 Concepcion was incorporated into Santo Domingo, which remained the only diocese until 1862. Many regular clergy came with the French into the French territory, especially the Dominicans and the Capuchins. The Dominicans devoted themselves especially to the mission in the western part of the colony, and were for a time supported therein by other orders and secular priests. The Dominicans were also designated as missionaries to the southern part of the island. The Capuchins, who looked after the northern part of the island, and were likewise assisted by other orders and secular priests, soon were unable to supply enough missionaries. On that account they gave up this mission in 1704, and were replaced by the Jesuits, who worked there until their expulsion at the end of 1763. Secular priests followed, but after 5 years they were superseded by Capuchins. The Haitian Revolution brought an end to the first wave of evangelization. Influence by the clergy ceased in the northern part of the country. The Western mission improved under the British occupation from 1794 to 1798. While, in the south, the apostolic prefect Père Viriat was murdered when the leader of the revolution Toussaint Louverture came to power in 1800. He restored the rights of the Catholic Church. However, the Council of Constitutional Bishops at Paris had nominated a bishop of Santo Domingo, who never obtained recognition either from Toussaint or the Capuchins. In 1802 General Leclerc restored the former jurisdictions of Cap Haïtien and Port-au-Prince, and named as prefects Apostolic Pérez Conebrel, O. Cap, and Lucan, O. P. These appointments were confirmed by the Vatican. Tensions increased as poverty spread. Mistreatment of slaves was common and a class system grew between a French-speaking Catholic minority and the poorer Creole majority. The Haitian slaves revolted in 1804 and, under the leadership of Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Haiti became the first black independent nation. After a massacre in 1804, nearly all the clergy left the colony. For the following 2 years the only religious services given at Port-au-Prince were held by a former sacristan. After the overthrow of Jacques I in 1806 some missionaries returned. After years of negotiations, a concordat between the Catholic Church and the Haitian government was signed on 28 March 1860. In December 1860, Monseigneur Monetti arrived as the Church's delegate. The concordat provided that the Catholic Church would have the special protection of the government. The president would nominate the archbishop and the bishops, but the Pope could refuse them canonical institution. The clergy received an annual salary of 1,200 francs from the state. 5 bishoprics were erected. In 1861, the Archbishopric of Port-au-Prince, and the sees of Cap Haïtien, Les Cayes, Gonaives, and Port-de-Paix. Initially, the Archbishop of Port-au-Prince administered all the dioceses. A separate bishop was appointed to Cap Haïtien in 1873, who would also oversee the administration of Port-au-Paix. In 1893 a separate bishop was appointed for Les Cayes, while Gonaives was still administered by the archbishop. On the conclusion of the Concordat, 3 fathers of the Congregation of the Holy Ghost and of the Holy Heart of Mary were sent to Port-au-Prince. These restored the regular parish organization in the capital. The first archbishop, Du Cosca, and his successor, Quilou, visited France to enlist new priests. Because of diseases in the tropical climate, many of the clergy died. By 1906, out of 516 priests who had come from France since 1864, 200 had died, 150 were still at their posts, and the rest were invalid to Europe. To ensure recruits, Mgr. Du Cosca established the Saint Martial Seminary in 1864, which was united with the colonial seminary conducted by the Fathers of the Holy Ghost. It received an annual state subsidy of 20,000 francs, the payment of which, however, was suspended owing to the political troubles of 1867, and in 1869 it was entirely abrogated. In 1870, owing to the war, the Fathers of the Holy Ghost gave up direction of the seminary. Mgr. Quilou then founded a new seminary in Pontchâteau in 1873 under the direction of the Fathers of the Society of Mary. Finally, in 1893 the seminary was removed to Saint Jacques and its direction entrusted to the secular priests. By 1909, Pontchâteau Seminary had sent 196 priests to Haiti, and Saint Jacques had sent 171, for 92 parishes.